There is a mystery lurking deep inside the Grand Canyon. Rocks that date back 1 billion years have mysteriously disappeared. The scientific community has been thrown into disarray ever since the Great Unconformity was first reported, which was close to 150 years ago. But when lately, an excavation revealed a massive underground metropolis buried deep inside the Grand Canyon. Therefore, what could it possibly be? Is it a city from the past? Discover the answer together with today's video. Compressive pressures and rising temperatures in the region that was later to become the Grand Canyon led to the formation of metamorphic and igneous rocks in close proximity to one another. After that, sedimentary layers started to build up, with each layer leaving behind remnants of the region's past that current geologists use to put together the sequence of events that led to the formation of the canyon. However, the real ravine didn't start taking shape until the end of the Cretaceous era, which was around 145 million to 65 million years ago. His finding is something that we can learn about our globe long before humans ever walked it, and it is thanks to Krill's discovery that we can gain this information. Today, the discovery that Krill made is regarded as being unique. If the boulders hadn't tumbled onto the Bright Angel Trail and Krill hadn't stumbled upon it in the first place, it's quite probable that the secret hidden within the stone would have remained undiscovered for much longer. In light of the fact that the Grand Canyon is almost 2 billion years old, this is an extremely astounding discovery. A biologist by the name of Alan Krill was the one who, in the end, recognized the significance of rocks that crumbled. As he examined the boulder more closely, he became aware that it possessed a peculiar quality that set it apart from other rocks, something that existed before the dinosaurs was discovered by Krill within the stone. A mere 4 years after that, one of Krill's buddies went on to produce a study that described what it was about this particular piece of granite that made it so unusual in the context of the long history of the Grand Canyon. After a rock face that was adjacent to the Bright Angel Trail suddenly crumbled, the unbelievable narrative starts. This caused the boulder to be hurled down the trail below, and despite the fact that the rock concealed an important part of the area's history, it was routinely trodden on by hikers and tourists both who didn't seem to give it much thought. It went unnoticed for a considerable amount of time, but ultimately, someone who possessed the necessary expertise came across it and realized the significance of it. There's still many mysteries that have not been uncovered about the Grand Canyon. On Bright Angel Trail, a geologist found a boulder that had just fallen from an old rock structure. Something unexpected was found after the geologist looked at the rock formation in greater detail. Continue reading to find out what he discovered and how it altered what we thought we knew about prehistoric life in Arizona. An experienced geologist was out on a routine stroll in the Grand Canyon when he came upon an intriguing boulder that was just sitting there in plain view. This led to the geologist making a remarkable discovery. The one-of-a-kind rock would shed light on the sorts of animals that inhabited the planet long before the period of the dinosaurs and offer information about those animals. The formation of the Colorado Plateau was caused by movement of the tectonic plates that lie under the region around Arizona. This activity began approximately 70 million years ago and continued for the subsequent 40 million years. This plateau is extraordinary in that it extends over more than 130,000 square miles and is situated at the height of 10,000 feet above sea level. The region spans the contemporary boundaries of Arizona, Colorado, Utah, and New Mexico. It is known as the Four Corners. It is a site steeped in history, the development of which has required millions and millions of years. It is hypothesized that the Grand Canyon came into existence between 5 and 6 million years ago as a result of the melting of ice and the accumulation of precipitation throughout the ice ages, which resulted in the formation of a drainage system known as the Colorado River. The power of the river carved its way through the strata of rock, wearing away at it over the course of time to form the steep canyon that we see today. The Grand Canyon is a very large canyon. It is recognized as one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, and the rugged canyon walls that surround it conceal discoveries that hold the key to uncovering long-forgotten mysteries. The sharp vision of Alan Krill was able to identify the extraordinary finding. In the year 2016, Norwegian geology professor Alan Krill led a group of students on a trip via the Bright Angel Trail located within the Grand Canyon. During the course of the journey, he came across a boulder that was lying in plain view just along the side of the path. It was obvious that the boulder had come crashing down from a rock formation up above. Krill noted right away that this boulder had marks on one side, which was one of its distinguishing characteristics that made it stand out from other rocks. His colleague at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Stephen Rowland, received the photographs that he had taken of the boulder and forwarded them to him. Rowland was able to validate Krill's assumptions once he got his hands on the photographs. After doing research, scientists found that the patterns were fossilized footprints that had been left roughly 313 million years ago. This is a significant amount of time before the age of dinosaurs. The traces provide a lot of information about the animal that generated them. The Ichthyotherium was identified as the animal that left the footprints after careful investigation. Before Krill made his discovery, these creatures, which are referred to as diadectomorphs, had never been observed living in a desert environment. The fact that they were actually present in the region upended the previously held beliefs concerning the species. Heitor Francescini, a paleontologist, stated in 2019 that the diadectomorphs were not anticipated to thrive in a dry desert environment because it was believed that they did not possess the traditional adaptations for being fully independent of water. There is a class of creatures known as amniota, which includes extinct reptiles, birds, and mammals. However, diadectomorphs are not a member of this class. Stephen Rowland provided the following explanation for the discovery. These are by far the earliest vertebrate tracks in Grand Canyon, which is noted for its rich fossil traces. More crucially, he noted they're among the oldest traces on Earth of shelled egg-laying creatures such as reptiles, which means that they represent the earliest evidence of vertebrate animals walking through sand dunes. The thing walked in a manner that was recognizable to us. There are two different sets of footprints that have been preserved on the boulder despite the fact that they became wet and were later buried under layers of sand. As there are two tracks, experts are divided as to whether they were formed by two distinct species or by the same creature traveling in the same region at the same time. This is due to the fact that there are two tracks, none of which of the two answers is right. There is one thing that can be said with absolute certainty. The tracks were created at various speeds. This is a significant trait since it reveals the manner in which the creature moved when it walked. Rowland came to the conclusion that the beast moved in a lateral sequence, which is a sort of movement that's still rather typical in our modern world. According to Rowland, living species of tetrapods, including dogs and cats, for example, commonly utilized a lateral sequence gait when they travel slowly. The traces on the Bright Angel Trail provide evidence that this manner of walking was used very early on in the evolution of vertebrate creatures. Before this, we did not have any knowledge on that. The rock structure is predicted to continue eroding, which means that more and more secrets from the past are going to surface, and scientists are prepared to find them. And that's all for the video. We will be right back. Until then, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.